I thought we were happy. I thought we had everything. Love, trust, a future. But I was wrong. So wrong. Because the moment I found the hidden messages, my world shattered. And I realized the man I loved was living a life I never knew existed. Before I tell you what I discovered that night, if you're feeling the emotions in my story, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Your support helps me share more stories like this one. I used to think my life was perfect. Not fairy tale perfect, but the kind of perfect you build day by day. The kind that makes you smile when you wake up in the morning because you know who's lying next to you. We had our little routines. Sunday mornings meant pancakes in the kitchen, him humming off key to some song while flipping them, and me pretending to be annoyed when he burned one. Friday nights meant movies on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, with me stealing his popcorn, even though I swore I didn't want any. It was simple. It was ours. And I loved it. I remember thinking, if this is what forever feels like, then I'm lucky. He made me feel safe. His smile could disarm me, his voice could calm me, and his touch could silence every storm inside me. When he'd look at me, it felt like I was the only person that mattered. And I held on to that feeling. Because don't we all want to believe we found it? That once-in-a-lifetime kind of love? But looking back now, maybe it was just a picture I painted in my head. I ignored the tiny cracks that showed up, like the night his phone buzzed during dinner and he quickly flipped it upside down, or the time he stepped outside to take a call, his voice low, almost nervous. Little things. Too small to fight over, too small to admit scared me. I told myself, don't overthink, don't ruin what's good, so I let it go. Again and again. Because I thought love meant trust, and I wanted to trust him so badly. But trust is fragile. Sometimes it's shattered not by a storm, but by tiny drops of doubt that slowly drown you. I still remember one night in particular. We were watching a movie, something light and funny. I leaned against him, laughing at the screen, when I noticed his face lit by the glow of his phone. He smiled. Not at me, not at the movie, at whatever was on that screen. The kind of smile that wasn't meant for me. When he realized I saw it, he quickly locked his phone. "Why are you staring?" he joked. I laughed too, brushing it off, but my chest tightened. My mind screamed, because in that second, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Distance. Still, I convinced myself I was imagining things. I wanted so badly to keep believing in the perfect picture we had. But deep down, a whisper started. What if he's hiding something? And once that whisper started, I couldn't silence it. You know that strange feeling in your chest? The one that whispers something's wrong even when everything looks fine on the surface? That's what started to haunt me. At first, I tried to brush it off. I told myself I was being paranoid, insecure, dramatic, because that's what he always said when I asked questions. Why are you overthinking? You know I love you, right? Don't be so jealous, it's nothing. And for a while, I believed him, because I wanted to. But doubt doesn't just disappear. It grows, quietly, silently, until one day it's the only thing you hear. It started with the late nights. He'd text me around 7 or 8 saying, "Don't wait up, I'll be working late." And I believed him, because why wouldn't I? But then the late nights became more frequent, and the excuses weaker. Work, meetings, deadlines. I remember one night he walked in at nearly midnight, his shirt smelling faintly of perfume that wasn't mine. He hugged me quickly, almost too quickly, and whispered, "Sorry, long day." I wanted to scream, "That's not my perfume," But instead, I smiled tightly and said, "It's okay." Because confronting him meant admitting my worst fear, that he wasn't the man I thought he was. And I wasn't ready for that. But the signs kept piling up. The laughter at his phone when I thought I wasn't looking, the way he kept it face down on the table, the sudden new password I didn't know. Every little thing became a question mark. And I hated myself for it. I hated the version of me that started second-guessing, checking his tone, analyzing his words. But the truth is, when love feels shaky, you cling harder. I kept telling myself, he loves me, he wouldn't do that. He's just stressed. It's just work. But deep down, I knew. I knew something wasn't right. There was one moment I'll never forget. We were sitting in bed, side by side, scrolling on our phones. I turned to ask him something, and right then, he smiled.
It wasn't just any smile. It was soft, secretive, like a smile meant for someone else, someone on the other side of that screen. I froze, and when he noticed me watching, his thumb darted across the screen, locking it instantly. "Oh, what?" he said casually, pretending nothing happened. "Nothing?" I whispered back. But my heart was pounding, because in that instant, I realized something devastating. I didn't trust him anymore. And once trust is gone, everything else starts to fall apart. That night, as he slept peacefully beside me, I stared at the ceiling, my mind racing. Was I going crazy? Was I just jealous? Or was my gut telling me the truth I didn't want to face? The questions burned inside me, and no answer brought peace. So I made a decision. I couldn't keep pretending. I couldn't keep wondering. That's when I decided to look closer. It happened on a night that seemed ordinary. Nothing about it screamed, "Your life is about to change." He had fallen asleep early, his phone buzzing quietly on the nightstand. For once, it wasn't locked. I don't know if it was luck or fate, but in that moment, curiosity outweighed fear. My hands shook as I reached for it. My chest tightened, my pulse racing so loud I was terrified it would wake him. Part of me whispered, "Don't do this. What if you're wrong? What if it's nothing?" But another part, the louder part, begged me to know the truth. I unlocked it, and there they were. Messages. Not the casual, everyday kind, but the kind that turns your stomach, the kind that makes your blood run cold. "I miss you already. You make me feel alive. Last night was perfect. When can we do it again?" My heart stopped. Each word hit me like a knife, cutting deeper than the last. I scrolled down, desperate, horrified, praying it was some misunderstanding. But the more I read, the worse it got. She doesn't suspect a thing. I'll tell her I'm working late. You're the only one who really gets me. I wanted to throw up. I wanted to wake him up and scream, but I couldn't move. Tears blurred my vision, dripping down onto the screen. My hands trembled so violently, I almost dropped the phone. The man I trusted, the man I thought was my forever, was living a double life, right next to me. And the words he once used for me, the sweet nothings he used to whisper, he was giving them to someone else. I remember whispering to myself, "This can't be real. Please, God, don't let this be real." But it was. Because lies have a way of staring you straight in the face when you least expect it. And as I kept scrolling, The betrayal grew heavier. They had plans, secret meetings, inside jokes. He told her things he hadn't told me in months. Compliments, confessions, words that used to belong to us. It was like watching my relationship shatter in real time. But then I saw something that made my heart stop completely. Because the worst part wasn't what he wrote. It was who he wrote it to. I stared at the name on the screen, and for a moment, my brain refused to process it. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't some faceless person from work or a secret fling I'd never met. It was someone I knew. Someone I trusted. My best friend. The girl who sat at my kitchen table with me, sipping coffee. The one who hugged me after long days, who swore she'd always be there for me. The one who asked me for advice about her lonely nights. Her. My vision blurred. I scrolled back up, desperately hoping I was wrong, that maybe I misread the name. But there it was, again and again. Her nickname. The emojis only we used with her. Her laugh in text form, captured in their private world. And suddenly, every little moment came flooding back. The nights she stayed late when he was working. The way their eyes lingered just a little too long across the room. The laughter I brushed off as harmless. The excuses I believed, because who would suspect the two people they loved most in the world? I clutched the phone, my hands shaking so hard it felt like the ground beneath me was splitting apart. I whispered to myself, no, she wouldn't do this. She couldn't. But she did. Message after message confirmed it. Jokes about me, lies about me, plans for a future that didn't include me. I felt like my chest was caving in, like every breath hurt. It wasn't just him betraying me, it was her. The double betrayal sliced deeper than I thought my heart could handle, because losing him was one thing, but losing her, that was like losing a piece of myself. And the cruelest part, they didn't just lie, they mocked me. One of the messages read, "She'll never figure it out. She trusts us too much." I wanted to scream. I wanted to smash the phone, wake them both, and burn every memory we ever shared. But instead, I sat there in the darkness. Silent tears streaming down my face, realizing the people I thought loved me the most had been plotting behind my back. That night, I died a little inside. But in that silence, something else was born too. A fire I didn't know I had. Because betrayal doesn't just break you, it changes you. And I knew, sooner or later, they would both have to face me. The next morning, I woke up with swollen eyes and a hollow chest. He kissed me like nothing was wrong, like he hadn't torn my heart apart just hours before.
And I kissed him back. Do you know what that feels like? To kiss someone you know is lying? To let their lips touch yours while your mind screams, "This isn't real. None of this is real." Every good morning felt like a blade. Every laugh sounded like a lie. Every "I love you" was poison slipping into my veins. But I played along. I had to. Because now I wasn't just the girl in love. I was the detective in my own life. I started watching him, noticing every glance at his phone, every excuse to run out for a bit, every time her name came up in conversation, and he quickly changed the subject. I learned to smile while my insides were screaming. I learned to cook dinner and laugh at his jokes while replaying the messages in my head. I learned to pretend. And that pretending, it nearly destroyed me. Because when you live a lie long enough, you start to question yourself. Am I overreacting? Maybe it isn't as bad as it seems. Maybe I can fix this. But then I'd hear his phone buzz at 2 a.m. I'd watch him sneak out of the room whispering into the dark. And reality would slam into me all over again. One night, I even caught my reflection in the mirror, smiling at him across the table, and I didn't recognize myself. I looked like a ghost, a stranger. That's when I realized this lie wasn't just breaking me, it was erasing me. I couldn't keep pretending forever. I couldn't keep swallowing the pain just to make him comfortable. So I started preparing. I saved screenshots. I memorized dates. I built my case like a lawyer heading into trial because I knew when the time came, he'd deny everything. And then the night came. The night when my mask cracked. The night when all the lies finally caught up to him. I remember sitting there, heart pounding, as I whispered to myself, enough. Tonight, I end this. The night had been strangely quiet. Too quiet. We'd just finished dinner, and he was scrolling on his phone again. My chest burned. My hands shook. I couldn't take it anymore. I looked him dead in the eyes and said, "Who is she?" He froze. His thumb hovered over the screen. "What are you talking about?" He laughed nervously, shoving his phone into his pocket. But I didn't blink. I didn't smile. "I know," I whispered. "I've seen the messages." The color drained from his face. His voice cracked. You went through my phone?" "Yes," I said, my voice trembling but firm. "Because you stopped being the man I trusted. Because my gut screamed at me every night while you were sneaking around. And now I know I wasn't crazy." Silence. The kind of silence that feels louder than screaming. Finally, he sighed, dragging his hands over his face. "It's not what you think," he muttered. I laughed, bitter, broken, cold. "Not what I think? So those 'I can't wait to see you' texts, those 'I miss your lips' messages, those were meant for me?" His voice rose. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far. It was just, I don't know, attention. I didn't mean to hurt you." The words sliced through me. Attention? That's all it took to throw away everything we built? And then the truth spilled. "It's not serious. It was just with..." He hesitated, and my stomach dropped. "Don't say it," I warned, tears burning my eyes. "Not her." But he did. Her name fell from his lips like poison. Someone close, someone I trusted, someone who had sat at my table, laughed with me, shared secrets with me. The betrayal doubled. Him and her. I stood up so fast my chair scraped against the floor. "Do you realize what you've done? You didn't just cheat on me, you shattered me. With her." He reached for me, desperation in his eyes. "Please listen, it didn't mean anything." I pulled away. "Didn't mean anything? Then how do I feel like I mean nothing?" He was crying now, and for a second, I almost broke. But then, I remembered every lie, every night I cried alone, every fake smile I forced while he whispered to her. "No," I said coldly. "You don't get to cry. You don't get to play the victim, not this time." I pulled out my phone, showing him the screenshots. His face collapsed. His lies had no air left to breathe. "That's it," I said softly, almost to myself. "That's the night our love story ends." And with those words, I walked away. The first night after I walked away was the hardest. The silence in my room was unbearable. No buzzing phone, no fake laughter echoing off the walls, just me and the truth. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, the same question looping through my mind like a broken record. How did we get here? There were moments I wanted to text him, moments my fingers hovered over his name, because heartbreak doesn't vanish overnight. It lingers, it claws at you, it begs you to go back to what's familiar even if it's toxic. But then, I'd remember her name in his mouth, the screenshots on my phone, the look in his eyes when his lies collapsed, and I'd put my phone down. The mornings were worse. I'd wake up with puffy eyes, reaching for him out of habit, only to touch cold sheets. That emptiness was a knife. But with each day, I learned something new. I learned that tears don't last forever. I learned that laughter, real laughter, does come back. I started going on long walks, breathing air that felt fresher without his shadow following me. I met with friends I had neglected, friends who held me when I couldn't hold myself. I picked up old hobbies, like sketching, and for the first time in months, my hands created something beautiful, instead of clinging to something broken. The nights were still lonely, yes, but slowly they became peaceful. No more hiding, no more pretending, no more waiting for him to choose me over her. And the strangest part, I started to feel free. Free from the lies, free from the double life, free from carrying a love that was never returned the same way. One evening, I caught myself in the mirror again, but this time, I recognized her. The woman staring back at me had fire in her eyes, not emptiness. Strength in her smile, not sorrow. I realized betrayal hadn't destroyed me. It had rebuilt me. Piece by piece, day by day, I was finding myself again. And that was a victory. If there's one thing this journey taught me, it's this. Love without trust is just an illusion. I thought we were happy until I found the hidden messages. And yes, it broke me. But losing him was how I found myself. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real happy ending.